Neba here with the 12.5-inch Utopia cast iron skillet. We're going to go through this pretty quickly. What do I like? What do I not like? Some of the pros and cons of cast iron in general. So let's jump right into it. Currently, this is $19.99 on Amazon, and it is Prime eligible, which makes it probably one of the cheapest cast iron pans of its size, which in itself is enough to make it a deal for me. But beyond that, the pros and cons of the pan itself. The only thing that I can really complain about is you don't get a rubber handle protector because this is cast iron, so the entire pan is going to get hot. You can't just grab it like this as you're cooking. It's going to be pretty hot. If you're a veteran of cast iron and you have other pans, you're going to be used to that and probably already have one of these handy. If not, you can grab one on Amazon. They're a few bucks. It might have been nice to include that with the pan and maybe up the price a few dollars, but yeah, that's really nitpicking at this point. The pan itself is of pretty good quality. Usually if you buy a cheaper cast iron pan, you see warping or manufacturer defects, maybe some chips or something that was cut out of the mold wrong, or you might see dents in the pan, which would kind of defeat the purpose. Like it wouldn't be non-stick because stuff would get stuck in there. In this case, it's really not the case. The other thing nice about this is if you take a look at this one, which I think is another name brand one, maybe Lodge. This is a 10 1/4. It's not that deep, so if you're trying to cook something and there's some sauce in it or something, you always kind of have to worry about it boiling over or spilling out the side. This I think is about 2 1/4 deep, so you can actually do a little bit more of that kind of cooking in this. You can boil stuff. You can get a top for it and make it a Dutch oven. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Cast iron itself, it gets hotter quicker and it maintains its temperature for a longer time. So just be aware of that when you're cooking. Like I said before, you can't just kind of grab it by the handle. You're going to have something nearby. But the pros of that is you can throw it inside your oven and cook with it. You can use it on a campfire, on a grill, pretty much anywhere. Yeah, it is going to be heavier because it's cast iron. So be aware of that. If you're trying to do stir fry, it's not going to be that easy to get the correct motion of the pan. But other than that, cast iron is pretty wonderful. You don't have to clean it as often. You can kind of just take a damp rag to it when you're done, clean out the food, reseason it, and you're good to go. Every once in a while, you're going to build up some kind of cake and food, and you're going to have to get something like one of these to really go at it and scrub it. But on the whole, pretty easy to maintain. You do have to worry about rust in the long term if you don't use it a lot, if you don't keep up on it, meaning you don't season it and you leave it out or you leave water in it. It is susceptible to that, so keep it in mind. What I usually do is when I'm done cooking with it, I immediately clean it out with a damp rag, put some oil in it to season it, and then I throw it right into the oven. Not to turn it on, but just to store it and keep it out of the way. That is usually enough to keep them in good condition. For the price range especially, it's a no-brainer. So 5 stars from me, and pretty happy with this one.